topic. Let's grab a cup of coffee. No, first off, being Dutch, I and most of the people that live over here don't really get all the fuss about certain words. Certain, it's an American term, yeah, but I mean we heard it over here as well. Now, what I don't get is when people are like, "You are Dutch?" Yes, Reggie. So whenever people are like, "Oh, the N word," "Oh, the F word," I mean, I get that the cultural difference is there, and that warrants the fact that certain words shouldn't or can't be said somewhere. I get that, and that doesn't mean that we say those words over here. We just don't hang as much of a value, if you will, much of a weight to the words as for example Americans do. I don't want to specifically focus on Americans, but it's the most easy example, right? Like in America, if you say the N word on national television, your career would be over, and worse than that, you would be dead in a ditch the next day, because apparently it's almost worse than a school shooting. Right? I'm just calling it as it is. In the Netherlands, we are like, okay, so if you like, you shouldn't say that really, but if you cuss at someone on national television afterwards, you're like, well, sorry, I just had a moment. Everyone is like, okay, happens. Um, we like it's just in our fibers. The Dutch, we were the first one to legalize gay marriage. We were the first one to semi-legalize weed. We have been the forefighters of liberty. We were actually one of the first countries to. We were the first democracy in the world. Other than the Greeks, but like in the Western world, we were the first ones. We were the first one to have a libertarian party in Parliament. We were the first one to actually have a Parliament after Britain. Britain was the first, so I'll give them that. But we were the first one after them. And that's not to brag, but it just shows that we are a kind of people that have always taken sort of like a liberal stance towards life, and be like, well, if you're like, there's a saying in the Netherlands which literally translates to, just act normal. That is crazy enough as it is. And while the Dutch love to be crazy at times, that is really the fiber of the Dutch people. We are like, just don't worry. That's basically what we try to say. It's not that, don't be crazy. What we say is just don't worry so much. Don't worry so much. We're all human. That's what we're saying. Um, I'm jealous. I want to be Dutch now. There's so much to be proud of, and I want to have to deal with the freaking Brexit. Well, that's one of them. And Reggie's actually working on it. He wants to become a Dutch citizen. He wants to live over here, and I totally agree with that. I welcome you with open arms, buddy. So that being said, if I look at the whole okay boomer part, there's two pillars for that. One part is the word language and the fact that people are putting a lot of pressure on it, like, oh, that's ageist. And I'm like, ageist is a weird construct that people thought up in the last couple of years. There's no such thing as ageist. You defy people that are of a different age category than you are. Psychologically, that's something that we've been doing since the inception of mankind. Young versus old versus young. Old people are like, oh, those damn youngsters. And young people are like, oh, those fucking old people. It's been like that since well before the dawn of time. This is something that we've always done as a species. So it's not ageist. It's something that is in our very fiber as a human being. So the fact that people put so much pressure, so much weight on that is weird to me as a Dutch person. I'm like, I don't get it. It's okay. Boomer embodies the current younger generation's defiance against the older generations. 20 years ago, the defiance was hardcore music and using ecstasy. And 10 years or 20 years before that, it was being a hippie, hanging out in a commune, and smoking pot. That was the defiance against the older generation. Nowadays, apparently, it's okay boomer. I don't mind, I don't care. So I don't really see what the fuss is about. But other than that, there's another pillar. And that pillar is the fact that people deliberately want to hurt people by any means necessary. And okay boomer is just another tile, another like ball on the pile of trying to hurt someone. That I don't agree with, because it's just another way to try and manipulate, hurt, weasel yourself into someone's mind and be like, I got you now. I can't hurt you because you're financially stable, because you have a wife, because you have this, because you have that. So I'm going to call you a boomer, and I'm still under your skin. That I'm not okay with. Then again, it doesn't work on me, because I'm like, I'm not a boomer, but if they call me a boomer, I'm like, okay, I don't get it. Okay. But if someone does get hurt by that, that's not fair. That's not nice to do that. So that is the other side, and that I don't agree with, because that is just deliberately trying to hurt someone. That's not cool. But then again, still, okay boomer is just really like one of those that it's really on the same level as like you poo-poo face or you meanie. It's really that level. So why are we putting so much so much pressure on it. Like, oh, it's so terrible to say that. It's ageist. No, it's really you poopy face. That's really where it's at. So why are we making such a big deal out of it?